Hello, my name is Uta Arnold. I'm a body psychotherapist living in France, having been born in Germany and having spent 60 wonderful years in the United States, where I wrote a book about my work. I've been a body psychotherapist for 40 years or so, and would like to share my findings, my discoveries about body, mind, emotions, spirit, creativity, and the healing forces of nature, which I have combined in my work that I have called unity and energy. Those two words combining, unity and energy. And the book that I'll be reading from and explaining maybe a bit more here and there is called Stuck is Not a Place. Stuck is not a place. It's integration of healing of different modalities beyond fixing. And the foreword was written by Candace Pert, a wonderful pharmapsychologist whose book about her life just got released recently. You might have a look at it. Her first book was called Molecules of the Emotions. Very important impact that it had on my work, my life. And at the time when she wrote the foreword, I did some work with her, and she said, your work is going to be part of the future of medicine. Of course, that made me very curious and a little bit proud as well. So I'm going to start reading about Unity and how the name came to me, the birth of Unity, I've called it. Unity and energy. Unity was delivered to me from the sea. In early 1990, I was walking on the beach on the island of Bornholm, between Denmark and Sweden. I just conducted a workshop with a number of American and European participants. During this workshop, we immersed ourselves in the natural beauty and ancient history of the island. Using our vivid imagination, we became kings and queens in the ruins of an old castle overlooking the sea. We role-played how we could use our authority wisely, and discovered how our inner authority over body, mind, and emotions would be reflected in the lives of the people entrusted to us. We imagined how we would guide their destiny and co-create their environment. Sensing the energy of rune stones, we touched the symbols carved into them, and they imparted personal meaning. We laid on earth mounds that might have been Viking graves, and allowed our bodies to receive and merge with stories that could not be named or explained in our present-day consciousness. Yet they transmitted an ancient wisdom, which enlivened our intuitive brain and began to familiarize us with an remembered internal creative response. We formed nature homes as we built sand castles on the beaches. With sticks, stones, mushrooms, and moss, we constructed houses for the little people, or spirits of nature. Designing these spiritual homes, we invited us to explore our roots and reconnect with early childhood memories. As we wrote group poems in which each person writes one line without looking at what the previous person has written, we revealed an underlying spirit of people who were eager to learn how to become caring and sensitive members of a community or tribe. These encounters informed and altered our personal, interpersonal relationships. We opened to our own in each other's pain, joy, and struggles. The quality with which our touch, words, laughter, and tears were exchanged became truth fully. Our movements took on a shape that was soft, flexible, and effortless as we learned from each other easily, and if by osmosis. Any somatic or verbal techniques were readily absorbed and passed on with sensitivity, curiosity, and care. And I found myself simplifying my language. My thought processes seemed directly connected to my body's responses, to the natural beauty of my surroundings, and that of the group members, and eventually to the beauty, recognition, and acceptance of my own nature and spirit. While on my beach walk and reflecting on the workshop week, I listened to the cries of the seagulls, the wind as it moved clouds overhead, and the rolling waves as they played with my feet. And I also listened to me. And this is what I heard. I am ready to take the next step by creating adventures with people as they consciously merge their human body with spirit, with life on this multifaceted planet. I will teach how to, without putting myself into the traditional role of the teacher. Rather, I will encourage and invite each individual to rediscover inner authority. I will work with heart-centered and self-responsible people who, like me, are deeply interested in how we can transform our often difficult personal journeys into celebration, or at least acceptance of what has been, is, and may be in the future. I will create a thoughtful, embodied space for people to immerse themselves, discover, remember, and feel inspired to share with others. And I will find a way to do this simply. Now my next question was, what shall I call this kind of learning, teaching, sharing? And the word I heard was unity. Unity and energy. I was ready. By this time, I had studied art and design for many years in Germany, in San Francisco and London. I had reconnected with the spontaneous, creative younger part of myself, which gave me the confidence to experiment outrageously while in a safe environment. Therefore, I knew I could create a place of safety, where people felt invited to participate in an experiment without being pushed, shamed, coerced, or manipulated, as I had often felt in traditional learning environments. In addition, I had traveled many roads of self-exploration and discovered some of my most important learnings through avant-garde music with Joe Celli, Malcolm Goldstein, and David Moss. And I also delved into my possible human with Jean Houston's Mystery School to revisit my spiritual connection with nature. I had participated in workshops with Michael Rhodes, author of many books that journey into nature, and I had traveled to Findhorn, a community in Scotland whose philosophy is based on the oneness of life, of all life. I was blessed to enter days of silent simplicity initiated by Sufi master Pir Vilayat Khan, during which I had no questions, no answers. Life was as is, in a harmonious flow of my inner and outer experiences. I merged with what felt like the one. For 15 years, I had studied the work of several pioneers of verbal and body sensory modalities. Fritz Perls Gestalt Therapy, the FM Alexander Technique, Moshe Feldenkrais's method, and Ilana Rubenfeld's Synergy. I had presented numerous workshops in Europe and the US based on the integration of body, mind, emotions, spirit, creativity, and the healing forces of nature. And it was now time for me to name what I was doing.